Hi, I'm Rachel Clark from the Studio Arts and Crafts Center, and I'm going to be teaching you how to put film on a reel. First things that you need are your film. Most of it, it'll be rolled up, so it's not going to have this little tail thing on it. You're going to need a bottle opener, scissors, a developing tank, and a lid. You have to remember that this is going to be happening in the dark, so you're not going to be able to see what you're doing, which is harder for most people. But I mean, it has to be done, otherwise you're going to expose your film. But I'm going to go over really basically how to open up the film canister, but not in detail, because this video is mainly for people who in high school use those plastic reelers. But since we have the metal ones, it tends to be a little bit more difficult, because you're used to just going like this to get them on, versus like you actually have to like kind of more pay attention to what you're doing. So yeah. The first thing you do is get the film off. I'm not going to do it for real because I don't want to expose this whole roll of film for no reason. But you just pry off the bottom part of the film, and then the film will come out of the reel. And then there's going to be this part still attached to it. And what you're going to do is you're going to, this is in the dark by the way, remember that. So you're going to pry it off. And then the full film's going to come out, and then you're going to have this little reel thing, and then you're going to want to take it with you want to cut that reel off, because otherwise it'll be on the film. And then you're going to take your hands at the top of the film and make a straight line as much as possible, because the straighter the line, the easier it is to get on the reel. So you're going to take it with your fingers and then cut across, and to create a line that is straight as possible where the two little divots fit together. And then, so after you have your film out of your canister, some people like to keep the film in their hand. My hand, I feel like, is a little bit too small for that, so I just usually let the film fall out of the canister, but just try to avoid keeping it on the floor, getting it on the floor, just because you want to keep your film as clean as possible when you're doing this, so that you don't get dust on your negatives and on your prints. So I also remember to set everything up ahead of time, so you know, I usually set it up in like what steps I'm going to be doing for the film developing. So I have my film, then I have my bottle opener, then I have my scissors, then I have my canister, and then I have my lid, because those are that's the order that I go in. So we are on the reel step, and what you want to make sure that like I said, you want to make sure that the line is straight, and that you stay as even as possible when you put the film on the reel. The reel is going to be going. You're going to want to have the flat part facing the right side, and then you're going to want to take, I usually try to put it on the second loops, because just in case you don't cut your line straight, it's easier, and also like it's easier to catch for some reason, I think it is. But you're going to want to put these two little prongs right into these little holes. So you're going to take the prongs, put it there, and then you're going to hold it with your whatever finger you feel like using. And then you're going to want to bridge the film. Bridging helps get the film into these grooves. So that's the difference between this step and the high school plastic ones. If I remember right, you just usually just put it on there and just twist it. Where these, you actually have to roll it and get it into the little grooves. So as I bend the film, I twist it with my left hand and get the film, and the film is going to go into these little grooves, which leaves the area open in between the film, so then all the chemicals and all the chemistry can get in between the whole film and develop the film equally. So you're going to want to practice this a few times underneath the table or in the dark, and you can even practice in the practicing room if you want. We have practice film for you that's available to just try out, see if you want to venture into the world of metal reels. But once you have the film on all the way, it should just end. It should take up the whole reel. This is, I think, 36 roll. Yeah, 36 roll film. So that's what this one will look like. If it's 24 or a little or like smaller, it'll go probably to about there. But our film that we sell here is 36, so should go all around. And then once you feel that you have it completely on here without any bumps, you just put it into the film canister and put the lid on. But some issues that people have with this is that their film rips on the side because they're being too aggressive with it, or they just practice too many times and it messes up, and then they get like bumps like this. And when bumps like that happen, it's not going to develop correctly in the developing tank. It leaves creases, and when you pull off the film, the light will expose it because the chemistry hasn't like touched it properly. So you really need to make sure that you get the film on as evenly as possible. I've had it before where like the film just wasn't getting on, but you have to work with it until it does, because otherwise you will have light leaks all over your film, and then you just ruined all that time that you spent shooting. So be dedicated to your film. Put your lid on, and this is a light safe container, so make sure, I always make sure that this part is securely on just in case, because if this part isn't on, then the light can still hit your film and expose it. So make sure this part's tightly on the back, put your film top on, and then you're good to go. Another thing that's different, the canisters that we had in my high school, there was like a hole and you put liquid through, but it was light safe. But these ones, when you put the chemistry in, you have to turn it to the side, so then the chemicals can go to the film. It's a little bit different, but it's not too bad. And then put the top on, and then agitate away. Yeah. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. My name is Rachel Clark from the Studio Arts and Crafts Center.